Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshata Nandagopal. This evening, we're going to be talking about the biggest headline of the day, which is emerging from right here in the national capital. Details of the CAG report are now out, with the first report on the liquor policy being tabled. But we've accessed that report and many more, and we'll break down for you the details that have emerged, which has led to questions about whether the AAP's sea of corruption during their regime now stands exposed and what really it means for Kejriwal and co. We'll be breaking that all down for you. The CAG report, the Comptroller and Auditor General report is out. 14 pending reports will be tabled over the course of the Assembly session in Delhi. But today, one report was tabled, and it's a scathing one for the Aam Aadmi Party. Why? Because it dents their corruption-free image. And how? The report I'm talking about is the Comptroller and Auditor General's report on the beleaguered liquor policy of the erstwhile Kejriwal government, one of the biggest talking points during the Delhi election on the alleged liquor scam. So was there a scam? Were there irregularities? 100% yes, at least based on the CAG report. So let's break it down for you. What does this report particularly establish? That the cost of this liquor policy for the exchequer was a whopping 2,002 crore rupees. 2,002 crore rupees loss courtesy the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi. So the CAG report has broken it down. And let's tell you the details. It's confirmed that the government faced a revenue loss of approximately first 890 crore rupees due to failure in retendering surrendered licenses. Then there was a delay in action that led to a revenue loss of approximately 941 crore rupees. This was due to exemptions granted to zonal licensees. Despite tender conditions placing commercial risk on licensees, a waiver of 144 crore rupees was given due to COVID restrictions. And this waiver, mind you, was something the Excise Department was against. And then incorrect collection of security deposits from these licensees cost a revenue loss of around 27 crore rupees. All that adds up to 2,002 crores of loss to the exchequer as a result of this liquor policy and the liquor scam. So what does this establish? It establishes that the policy was intentionally flawed. And why do I say that? Because it was essentially meant to create this loss, to ensure the money reached others, and no amount of red flags made the Kejriwal government actually change its mind. The CAG report, besides those numbers, let me highlight for you the 5 key issues with the policy that the CAG report has highlighted. First, that the expert panel recommendations, these are recommendations of the expert committee that was formed for just this, to suggest changes for the formation of the new excise policy. All the recommendations thrown out the window, completely ignored. Wholesale licenses were given to private entities instead of state-owned wholesale entities. So that's another violation that the CAG report has highlighted. Then you have upfront charging of excise duty in the license fees in place of excise duty that's usually charged per bottle. So this again was established because of the policy that was brought in by the AAP government. There's also a mention of how necessary permissions from the cabinet, the state cabinet and the lieutenant governor, which is a nod, were not obtained before giving important exemptions that led to a huge loss to the exchequer. And finally, that the total number of licensees was limited, and thereby it increased the risk of monopolization, of mafias, of a cartel being formed, which is the intention of a new policy even being framed. It was to get rid of any sort of cartel formation, but that's exactly what this policy did. So this was the report that was tabled in the Assembly today, kicking off a political storm. Here's what happened when that report was tabled by Chief Minister Rekha Gupta.
मैं आपकी अनुमति से राष्ट्रीय राजधानी क्षेत्र दिल्ली सरकार से संबंधित भारत के नियंत्रक एवं महालेखा परीक्षक का दिल्ली में शराब के विनियम और आपूर्ति पर निष्पादन लेखा परीक्षा प्रतिवेदन वर्ष 2024 का प्रतिवेदन संख्या नंबर 1 की प्रतियां सदन पटल पर प्रस्तुत करती हूं।
मैं आपको भारत के नियंत्रक महालेखा परीक्षक की रिपोर्ट को सदन में प्रस्तुत करने से संबंधित पृष्ठभूमि से अवगत कराना चाहता हूं। सदन में सदस्यों को सीएजी रिपोर्ट पर चर्चा करने में सहायता करने के लिए इसको उजागर करना जरूरी है, क्योंकि उक्त रिपोर्ट अब सदन के विचाराधीन है। यह इसलिए भी महत्वपूर्ण है क्योंकि सदन के कई सदस्य पहली बार चुनकर आए हैं और इस पृष्ठभूमि की जानकारी मिलने से उन्हें रचनात्मक ढंग से चर्चा में भाग लेने में मदद मिलेगी।
So what does really this report mean for Kejriwal and co? Well, the scam essentially dents AAP's corruption-free image. And that is a huge problem for Arvind Kejriwal to actually recover from this setback, because it establishes that, look, there was graft, and it confirms corruption in the liquor policy, which all along the Aam Aadmi Party has denied. They have maintained that there is no graft whatsoever and there's no evidence of it, which investigative agencies, according to them, has been able to provide. It also vindicates the stand of both the BJP and the Congress that the liquor policy was flawed. By the way, it was the Congress that had first raised this issue, claiming that the liquor policy was flawed. So it vindicates their stand as well. With all of these allegations now, the onus is on Kejriwal and co. to prove their innocence. It's no longer prove the allegations, but it's also about proving their innocence. How has AAP reacted to this entire report? Well, we've shown you when the report was tabled. Let's take you through the reactions that came in soon after.
हम जिसका बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे थे, सीएजी रिपोर्ट, आज वो आपदा आम आदमी पार्टी के भ्रष्टाचार के ऊपर में आएगी और उसमें हम देखेंगे कि कितना भारी दिल्ली की जनता को लूटा गया है, टैक्स पेयर को लूटा गया है, कितना भारी उसमें भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है। तो एक बार रिपोर्ट आ जाएगी, उसके बाद में आपको डिटेल बताएंगे।
कैग की रिपोर्ट आज पेश की जाने की बात हो रही है, उसको लेकर क्या कहेंगे?
तो रूटीन प्रक्रिया है।
कैग के मुताबिक 4 करोड़ का घाटा हुआ है, 4 करोड़ का कैग के मुताबिक। अब इसके आगे ये सारी बातों को दबाने के लिए बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी का नाम और शहीद आजम भगत सिंह जी का नाम आगे लाकर अपनी चोरियां और करप्शन को दबाने की कोशिश की।
2 साल से भाजपा की सरकार की सभी एजेंसियों को बिना परमिशन के असंवैधानिक तरीके से आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं के पीछे लगाया गया। आज तक कुछ निकाल तो नहीं पाई। तो देखो, कुल मिलाकर के क्या है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी कोई न कोई स्टंट करके काम करने से बचना चाहती।
So remember that the liquor scam is already being probed by the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. So let's list out for you the accused from the Aam Aadmi Party in this particular case. The main accused, Manish Sisodia, accused of tweaking the 2021 excise policy to extend undue favours to private license holders. As I told you, the CAG report also speaks of cartelization, monopolization by a few private individuals. He's also under the ED lens under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Sisodia, remember, is currently out on bail. He was behind bars for 18 months. Then this Sanjay Singh, AAP MP, also an accused. He allegedly took a bribe of 2 crores from Dinesh Arora, who was an accused in the case turned approver. So Dinesh Arora confessed to having given 2 crores as a bribe to Sanjay Singh. Sanjay Singh is also out on bail. He was also jailed for 7 months. He faces both the CBI and ED investigation, similar like Sisodia, under the PMLA. Then you have Arvind Kejriwal. Kejriwal has been named by the ED as a key conspirator, as a kingpin in the liquor scam by the ED. The agency claims that kickbacks from the policy were actually used by Arvind Kejriwal to stay in 5-star hotels in Goa during the AAP's election campaign in Goa. Kejriwal is also out on bail in this very case. He was behind bars for 5 months, courtesy the CBI and ED's cases against him. So the trouble in this particular case is only growing right now for the Aam Aadmi Party. But this isn't, unfortunately, the only one. Now, there's been a lot of curiosity about the CAG report on the CM residence, or Sheesh Mahal as the BJP calls it. That report will be tabled soon in the Assembly. But we've accessed the details of the report on the costs incurred to actually spruce up this beautiful residence, the CM's residence, by former Chief Minister Kejriwal. Let me kick it off by giving you the detailed breakdown of the money spent on the Sheesh Mahal. So the estimated cost of renovation was pegged at 7.91 crores. This was how much it was estimated will cost to renovate the CM residence. But what was actually spent? Remember this sum of 7.91 crores. The construction contract, you saw that amount going up. It was awarded for 8.62 crores. So from 7.91, it went up to 8.62 crores. So it went up by 13%. But here's the clincher. That's not the only rise. By the time the construction, renovation was completed, was done, that cost shot up from 7 crores to 8 crores to 33.66 crores. The original cost was 8 crores, shot up to nearly 34 crores. That's a jump by 342% from what was originally estimated. Imagine that. That kind of a jump completely unaccounted for. This confirms essentially that yes, costs went way, way higher than what was expected, and that approvals were taken for 8 crores. The actual amount spent was way above that, was 34 crores. But let's dig deeper and tell you the 10 big findings of the CAG report. So we've told you, of course, about the numbers also. What we told you about with regards to the initial estimate versus what the actual final cost was. And it's a big difference, as I showed you. But that's not the only glaring lapse. There are several other findings. For example, the Public Works Department under Kejriwal declared this renovation work of the CM residence as urgent during COVID times. This is what essentially their priority was. In the tendering process for the work, only restricted bidding was allowed. And then you had the PWD also using outdated consultancy rate, and then using that, they increased it by 50%. So you had this also question marks being raised on the consultancy rates. One contractor then was selected arbitrarily. Why? Obviously, there were questions about why this one contractor was chosen. We don't know yet, because only an investigation could perhaps reveal why. During the construction itself, again, the built-up area of the CM residence suddenly increased. And so the cost shot up. You'd think that the built-up area is something they would know beforehand, and that would be something they factor in initial cost. Didn't happen. Add to that, the Public Works Department suddenly altered the specifications to include all sorts of artistic items, antique items. What are these items? We have no idea. Nearly 19 crore was spent on what they refer to as extra items for the renovation. Again, we don't know what exactly these items are. And after all of these renovations, an estimate of 29 crores is issued 2 months after the work is done, as if to cover up the irregularities that have come to the fore. So where did the funds come from all of this? I'm sure you're all wondering. Well, according to the CAG report that we have accessed, funds for the staff block, funds for the camp office, all of that was diverted for this grand splurge, for this renovation, or rather makeover, of the Chief Minister's residence. So this damning CAG report is expected to be tabled in this assembly session. Going by the details I just gave you, it could lead also to a formal investigation against Arvind Kejriwal, against his ministers. So combine the liquor scam plus the alleged Sheesh Mahal scam, and you see trouble mounting for Arvind Kejriwal. But there's a thick cloud of corruption over Kejriwal, not just the liquor policy and Sheesh Mahal, but other irregularities too that's put him now in the dock. What are we talking about? Remember, I told you that there are 14 pending CAG reports that will be tabled, and this covers education, it covers pensions, financial aid for women, and more. A detailed look at even these numbers in the CAG reports by us here on India Today has confirmed that there are more numbers that quite simply just don't add up. What am I talking about? We'll list it out for you because we've scrutinized all of the documents that we've got our hands on. GST refunds for a whopping 37 crores was done, but with zero document verification. The basics are not being done, and these are loopholes, glaring ones that the CAG has highlighted. 1.68 crores of irregular payments under staff training allowance has also been red flagged. This is under the Union Civil Services training. Now, under the AARP scheme to provide financial aid for women, over 43,000 beneficiaries were listed who didn't even meet the criteria. And it's a similar situation also with old age pension, in which 21,500 applicants got benefits despite not even being eligible. Now, the payout to students has, again, a similar curious anomaly. 1,000 students with the exact same bank accounts, the exact same Aadhaar number have been listed. And then even in uniform subsidies, irregular amounts have come to the fore. How? Claims of 42 crores being spent on just about 2.93 lakh students. That simply doesn't add up. There's an amount of 85 lakh also mentioned as pending due to student ID numbers duplication. Again, you look at these numbers, nothing adds up. And so many questions really come up when we put out these numbers and details that we have from these CAG reports. Who benefited? Whose pocket did this money go to? We have no answers because so far there's been no investigation. Remember, for each of the points that I mentioned, education, pension, students, women, you'll have different CAG reports being tabled in this assembly session. We'll have to see if in each of these cases there's going to be an investigation. Okay, so day 2 of the Delhi Assembly session. We saw a heated exchange between the AAP and BJP, sparking intense political drama over various issues, including Ambedkar's portrait, the CAG report, and more. Here are some of the highlights of that showdown. In a dramatic turn of events, so all AAP MLAs, including Leader of Opposition Atishi, were marshalled out of the Delhi Vidhan Sabha by Speaker Vijender Gupta. This happened, in fact, as the Lieutenant Governor stood up to speak and list out the government's agenda. By then already the AAP MLAs were on their feet, so Vijender Gupta named one after the other and they were marshalled out. Outside the assembly, Leader of Opposition Atishi and other AAP leaders continue to protest. Atishi accused the BJP of putting Prime Minister Modi's image above that of Ambedkar's. In response, the BJP posted a controversial image showing Atishi sitting with Ambedkar's photo placed at her feet, saying that she's the one who's disrespected Ambedkar. The BJP, in retaliation, also shared an old image. This is of Sunita Kejriwal from when Arvind Kejriwal was in jail. The image shows her placing the then jailed Chief Minister's photo alongside those of Ambedkar and Bhagat Singh. And the BJP has said that this is an insult to Ambedkar and Bhagat Singh. The session also saw heated debates over the CAG report. The Delhi Assembly session has been extended by 2 days now till March 3rd. Remember, 13 more CAG reports will also be tabled in the Assembly in the next few days. So expect a lot more political fireworks in the Delhi Assembly in the days to come because, as I said, 13 more CAG reports, of which we gave you a glimpse of what to expect, will be tabled soon. 41 years on, the law is finally caught up with former Congress MP Sajjan Kumar in the 1984 Sikh riots case. That's right, Sajjan Kumar has been given the life term for killing 2 people, a father-son duo. The 1984 riot survivors were seen protesting outside Delhi's Rouse Avenue court, which had pronounced this judgment as they demanded the death penalty for Sajjan Kumar.
Justice after 41 years for 1984 anti-Sikh riot victims. Former Congress MP Sajjan Kumar has got life in jail for leading a mob that set ablaze a father-son duo in Delhi's Saraswati Vihar during the worst genocide that Delhi has seen.
ਅੱਜ ਸੱਜਣ ਕੁਮਾਰ ਨੂੰ 2 ਉਮਰ ਕੈਦ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਜੱਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਣੀ ਜੱਜਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਪੀੜਤ ਮੰਗ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਫਾਂਸੀ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਜਾਏ ਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਫਾਂਸੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਜਾਏ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ।
नहीं बिल्कुल संतुष्ट नहीं है कि हजारों लोगों की हत्या हो गई हो, सड़क के ऊपर जिंदा जला दिया गया हो और इतने सालों के बाद इंसाफ मिले और वो भी उम्र कैद का, तो ये कोई मायने नहीं रखता है।
The mob had killed the victims, Jaswant Singh and son Tarundeep Singh, on November 1st, 1984. The victims' family and prosecution had sought death penalty.
हम खुश नहीं है। 40 साल इंतजार करते हो गया, 40 साल में हमें ये इनाम दिया कि उसको फिर जिंदा रखा।
मेरे पापा को मेरे आंखों सामने जलाया गया था जिंदे को। 7 मेंबर गए थे हमारे उस टाइम, जिंदे को सड़ाया गया, जलाया गया। हमें आज तक इंसाफ नहीं मिले। हम यही तो चाहते हैं कि हमें इंसाफ मिले।
The survivors of the anti-Sikh riots held protests outside Delhi's Rouse Avenue court seeking death penalty.
फांसी देनी चाहिए थी सरकार को। इस फैसले से हम संतुष्ट नहीं है। सज्जन कुमार को फांसी आनी चाहिए थी। हमारे घर घर से तबाह कर दिए। किसी के 11, किसी के 6, किसी के 15 लोगों को जिंदा जलाया।
नहीं, हमारे लिए तो अभी ये न्याय सही नहीं हुआ है। हम तो कहते हैं एक सज्जन कुमार को फांसी मिलनी ही चाहिए बस।
जब तक हमारे आत्मा को तसल्ली होएगी, इसको फांसी होए।
The ruling BJP claimed that earlier Congress governments had shielded the rioters. It thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for setting up a SIT and ensuring justice.
हमेशा प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने कहा है कि ना किसी को बख्शा जाएगा, ना किसी को छोड़ा जाएगा। अगर किसी व्यक्ति ने कोई जो है भ्रष्टाचार किया है उसको भी सजा मिलेगी। अगर उसने कोई घोर अपराध किया है उसको भी सजा मिलेगी।
आज दूसरे केस में उनको उम्र कैद हुई है। मैं कोर्ट का भी धन्यवाद करता हूं। और ये हमारे लिए जो लंबी हमने लड़ाई लड़ी थी, बड़ी पीड़ा थी, हमें बड़ा दर्द था हमें कि हम चाहकर भी इंसाफ नहीं पा रहे। मैं मानता हूं कि आंशिक तौर पर हमारे लिए जरूर एक हमें संतुष्टि देने वाली खबर है।
The riots and killing of innocent Sikhs were triggered after then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was shot dead by her Sikh bodyguards. But it took 41 years to punish one of the biggest perpetrators. With Shrishti Ojha in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And just imagine, it's taken 41 years for justice for these riot-hit victims in the 1984 case to now finally the court pronouncing its judgment. And that's all we have time for in this edition of Super 6.